Hey, welcome back to the channel, you guys. Hey, I'm going to talk about another one of my remakes that I liked a lot. This one is, now I really like this one. Now this one's called Time Machine. Now Time Machine came out in 1960. I was 1 year old because I was born in 1959. And it is an hour and 43 minutes. And it has a 76 Rotten Tomatoes. So it starred, Rod Taylor was the leading man in that. I just call him the leading man. I could say the star or whatever, but he was the leading man in that. Man, I remember watching that when I was, man, I had to be about, when's the first time I watched it? I think I was 8 or 9, and I was just so fascinated by that movie, And then as I got older, I kept catching it on and off, but it was, oh man, it was really good. I loved it a lot, and I remember when I got older, I always said I wanted to get that movie. And I remember my daughter's mom, when me and her was together, we wanted to watch that movie together because it was coming on this was back in the early 90s. So I was waiting on her, and when she pulled up, she had to go to work. And she pulled up and she says, I gotta go to work, they called me in. And I was like, oh man, you're gonna miss the movie. She goes, I know. And we was just disappointed because we were so psyched about seeing the Time Machine, which is the 1960 one. Anyway, I ended up watching it by myself, and because I wanted to sit with her and watch it, because she liked it too, and boy, she was a good woman. But yeah, so I remember that specifically because we was wanting to watch that together. But then as the 90s rolled on, they came out with you can get stuff on VHS, but at that time, I think. The DVDs was taken off in the mid 90s or the late 90s or something like that. So I ended up finding it on DVD, so I ended up owning it. That's one I wouldn't mind getting on 4K if I can get it on 4K, but I don't think I can. But anyway, that came out in 1960, and then the other one was Time Machine 2002. Now it's an hour and 36 minutes, and I was 43 years old at that time. And it has a 28% Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah, a lot of people must not care for this one. And the leading man in this one was Guy Pearce. I just call him the leading man. He can't the star. But anyway, I remember when they said they was going to come out with the Time Machine. I'm not going to lie, I was excited about watching this Time Machine. And I didn't get to go see it because at that time, I have 5 kids, but my 3 boys was staying with me. And they came down for the weekend, and I ended up being able to watch it on this little small TV that I had, and it was I had to get up on it because I was so used to having a big TV. I was going through some financial problems, so I just had this little TV, and I remember watching it. And then later on, I ended up watching it again. Now, for me, I didn't think it was that bad of a movie. It was just more of an updated version of that movie, and it was written totally different, and it was just I remember I watched it twice, and it didn't really grab me like the first one did. The only thing I like about the newer one is it was more updated, and you had a lot more variety of different people in it, which Time Machine, it was just all it was nobody of color in that movie. And it's so weird because I remember I still love the movie. It's one of my favorite ones, but yeah, I remember when I first watched it, I was at like 8, and then I watched it again when I was maybe 14. Then I kept seeing it on and off and missing it. And then when I got in my early 30s, I really wanted to get this and have it in my collection. I remember sitting down one day and said, man, Time Machine 1960, boy, they didn't have not one person of color in that movie at all, period, So I just said that. I was sitting there watching it and saying that to myself. Was kind of funny, but I still love the movie. I love a lot of those old movies, even though there's just times are different for people like me. But but still, I really love that 1960 one. Now, as far as the ones I like the most between the two, I have to say that the 1960 I definitely liked it because I remember watching it when I was 8 years old, and I was so fascinated by him, getting in that time machine and the way the wheel was going and how all the stuff. Just think, man, how much technology has jumped since then. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird because I remember just watching that, and I was so intrigued as a little boy, seeing that wheel go by and him looking around and seeing all, you know, whoever produced this movie did a good job, and it just goes to show you how much people had to work hard to make a decent movie back then, you know, because I still can watch that movie today, and I got it in my DVD collection, but I really love that movie. Now, as far as the 2012, you know, obviously it had a lot more technology, and it was just more, you know, just the overall, you know, they have more computer graphics and all that kind of stuff, and you know, it's just more of special effects, and you know, the people that live, you know, those creatures that live, you know, in the 1960 when there was these creatures, was these humanoid creatures was eating on people, coming up from the ground, you know, because they lived underground. They come up and eat people. Well, the one in the 2012, man, they made them guys look wicked the way they come out of the ground and stuff. So, for me, I have to say I did enjoy the 2002, but I didn't, you know, it didn't stick with me like, you know, the 1960. That 1960 one, I love it. You know, I always will. And you know, I got over here in my little collection right now. I'm just hoping that I can get a 4K copy. That's how much I liked it. But yeah, between the two, I'd rather 1960. I would take 1960 over 2002. And you'd think I would go with 2002. You know, I remember trying to watch that 2002, and I was 43 years old, and I remember the Time Machine 1960. I was only 1, so obviously I didn't watch it then because I was a toddler. But you know, maybe 8, 9 is when I first watched it. I remember watching it, being a little boy, going, "Wow, that thing." The spinning wheel in the back, and him in that thing, and him seeing all the world go by. God, I was just so fascinated by it. But the 2002, man, my little boys was running around. I remember I was trying to, you know, fix them something to eat, and they was in the back room playing, and I was trying to watch that. And yeah, I liked it, you guys. I really did. But anyway, I prefer the 1960 one over the 2002 one. But I like them both. Anyway, God bless and take care. And that's my comparison. Remakes. We'll see you.